Okay, so this is this weird thing that people say about public transportation, which is that to make it work, we would need thousands of drivers. But just think for a second about how many drivers we need to make our current transportation system work. We need millions of them because those drivers are you. You're the ones driving the cars. But if we had decent public transportation, you wouldn't have to be a driver. Someone else would get paid to do that while you could just sit in a comfy seat and read a book.
Okay, so this is a great TikTok from Adam Conover that points out something that a lot of people do. Whenever somebody suggests that we do something that is obviously better than our current system, there's very often somebody that talks about the difficulties that exist about what the new system could potentially be. Perfect example. Bernie Sanders talked a lot about universal health care, and a lot of people pointed out, but that would be really expensive, not realizing that we currently subsidize an extreme amount of the healthcare industry. We are already paying a ton of money, except for that government money basically is neutralized simply by the fact that private companies want to make giant profits. You look at everything from the pharmaceutical industry that we give money to from the government so that they can do all of the research, because if they didn't get paid to do the research by the government, they wouldn't do it themselves. What's the point in researching something that you don't know if it will work yet? You don't know if it'll be profitable. So we do that. Then we also subsidize the insurance industries. The insurance industries, which are quite literally just middlemen, that all they do is add bureaucracy, make it more difficult to access healthcare, and make it more expensive in the process. Not to mention the fact that they take an extreme amount of time from doctors. Doctors very often spend half of their time filling out insurance paperwork. So sure, it would be expensive to have a universal healthcare system, but that's just because it's expensive to have a healthcare system at all. Having a universal healthcare system actually makes things a lot more efficient. And I can tell you because I have what a universal healthcare system would look like. I'm actually a disabled veteran, and I can tell you that all I need to do is call the doctor's office to schedule an appointment, and then I show up for my appointment. None of that filling out insurance paperwork, nothing about trying to get a claim denied or not. If my doctor says that I need something, then that's what I get. If you have private insurance, the unfortunate reality is, even if you think you need something, your doctor thinks you need something, you are going to get a phone call from your insurance company or paperwork or whatever, and they're going to be interrogating you. Do you really need this? They might interrogate your doctors. Do they really need this? And they will get in your way, they will delay your care, and you're paying them to do it. It turns out if instead of incentivizing profits and hoping that the free market will magically deliver things that are good for people, we actually intentionally designed systems to make sure that people's needs are taken care of, we actually do a better job of meeting people's needs. We know today that there's a huge industry around forcing people to drive to work. Not only is there a ton of money in commercial real estate, but also there's a ton of money in vehicle manufacturers and gas and oil and all of the parts that go into your car. And those industries would be really, really upset if everybody was remote working, or if everybody maybe perhaps had very easy public transit where they could get anywhere fairly easily and quickly. Currently, public transit has to deal with all of these pesky cars. If they didn't have to deal with all these pesky cars, city buses would be a lot faster, and we could make a lot more space for trams and trains. Those things combined could make all of our lives a heck of a lot easier. We could also maybe organize walkable cities so that instead of having to leave a complicated, nonsensical suburb just to go to the grocery store, your grocery store could be 1 or 2 blocks down the road and you could walk. You could even bring a wagon if you feel like. All of this is to say, people like to point out the things that would make a different system difficult, but they are so accustomed to the current systems that exist, they don't realize how miserable everything is today. So just connect these 2 dots for a second. Think about how much free time you actually have right now, and think about how much free time you might have if maybe the system was designed differently. Think about if you didn't have to commute, if you were allowed to remote work. A lot of people don't even have to imagine that. Think about if there was a nearby train that came by every 15 minutes to bring you into the city to go to your job or your favorite entertainment place. I don't know. That would definitely be a lot better than a train running once every couple of hours, and it's certainly a lot easier than having to find a parking space downtown. Because if everybody's trying to find a parking space, then we have these giant parking garages, and guess what? You are going on the same walk anyway. Parking garages and parking lots might as well be entire city blocks with how massive they get sometimes. And if you don't get the best parking space, then why would you be against having to go that same exact distance just to go to the grocery store if it was in your neighborhood? So here's the reality. When it comes to these different systems and structures, change might sound scary in some ways, but the reality is fundamentally changing our system can actually make things a heck of a lot better. But in order to understand that, we need to have hope that new systems could make things better, and we also need to recognize how miserable everything is now.
This is Ben Carollo with Rebel Headquarters. You can catch my show Galaxy Brain every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on the Young Turks Twitch channel, and you can follow me at Benjamin Carollo on Twitter.